Hey love, I'm Gena, an ED-recovered, recovery-informed food freedom and strength coach, helping women in the messy middle finally break free from overthinking food, fearing weight gain, and chasing control. If you've ever felt too healed for treatment but nowhere near free, or stuck in that exhausting place where you want food freedom and your dream physique without spiraling back into old patterns, you are exactly who I'm here for. This is a space where we call out the lies diet culture never questioned, where healing and body goals get to coexist, and where strength, physical and emotional, becomes your way out of a session. I've lived both extremes: restriction, treatment, binging, rebuilding, and now I help women just like you stop the shame, trust their bodies again, and actually enjoy food, fitness, and their lives. So take a breath, you're safe here. And this is the Fit Without Obsession podcast, the place where your freedom starts. I want to talk about fitness today, but not in the way that it is usually talked about. Not in a push harder, do more, or be more disciplined kind of way. I really want to talk about what happens when you are disciplined, when you are consistent, when you are doing everything that you should be and you've been told is right, and your body still isn't responding. Because if you've ever found yourself thinking, why does this work for everyone else but not me? Or what am I doing wrong? This episode is for you. I see this pattern constantly, especially with high-achieving women who don't skip workouts, women who plan their meals, women who are motivated, driven, and willing to do uncomfortable things in the name of making progress. And yet, they're exhausted. Their bodies feel resistant instead of responsive, and fitness starts to feel really heavy emotionally and physically. And I want to be clear about something before we go further. This is not because you're lazy. It's not because you lack willpower, and it's not because your body is broken. There was a period of my life where I was following a 7-day-a-week workout program. 7 days, no rest days, no true down regulation. And on top of that, which is the craziest part, I was eating around 1,200 calories a day and teaching about 20 dance classes per week. So I was not just training, I was moving constantly, performing constantly, burning energy all day, every day. And in my head, I thought, this has to work. Mathematically, this should work, right? And I wasn't skipping workouts, I wasn't binging, I wasn't being inconsistent at the time. If anything, I was being too good. And yet I was exhausted, I was miserable, my body really felt inflamed, heavy, and tense. And the most confusing part for me at the time was my body was not changing. I wasn't having any weight loss. I wasn't having any strength gains that felt good. And I didn't really have any sense of momentum. So I did what so many women do when they get stuck at this place. I assumed that I was the problem. I wondered what I was doing wrong. And I thought maybe I just needed to be stricter or more precise or maybe even more disciplined. I didn't think to myself, maybe this is too much. I truly thought, why can't my body handle this like other people's bodies can? That question alone kept me stuck for a really long time. What I did not understand at the time was that my body was not failing me. It was really protecting me. My nervous system was completely fried the fuck out. And when your body is under constant, continuous stress, physical stress, or food restriction, overtraining, maybe performance pressure, it doesn't respond by changing faster. It really honestly responds by holding on. It holds onto energy, onto weight, onto tension. And you really can't build strength and you can't lose fat in survival mode. So if you are currently maybe training 5, 6, 7 days a week, eating very little, pushing through exhaustion, and still feeling stuck, that does not mean that you're broken. It means that your body does not feel safe. And safety is not a mindset issue. You can't force that, right? It's a physiological one. So I want to kind of go into what I wish I had known at the time when I was going through this, when I was stuck in this place thinking that there was something wrong with me. I really wish that someone had told me that rest is not laziness, that eating more does not mean that you're losing control, and also that your body is not a machine that you can bully into changing. And that sometimes the strongest, most disciplined thing that you can do is to actually pull back. Not quit, not give up. Just actually stop fighting your body. So let's go into what nervous system safe fitness actually means, because I know that's why you clicked on this episode, right? You were interested and intrigued. And when I say nervous system safe fitness, I really want to be super clear about what I don't mean. And I don't mean having no structure with this. I don't mean no goals. I don't mean never lifting heavy again. Believe me, I love structure and goals and lifting heavy. So I want to go into what I do mean, and that is that we're training in a way your body can actually adapt to, because safety is what actually is going to allow that progress that you're looking for. So let's go into some concrete strategies and some micro shifts that you can actually start to make now if you're feeling stuck, like you're doing everything, you're showing up, you're checking all the boxes, and things are still not lining up. Your body is still not responding. And the first thing is to train less on purpose. So one of the first shifts that I make with clients is reducing training days, again, especially if they're overtraining. And it's not because they're incapable. You might have room in your schedule 7 days a week. You might physically be able to do it, but because recovery capacity matters. 3 to 4 intentional sessions will almost always outperform 6 or 7 depleted ones. If you're training more than 4 days a week, go ahead and remove one session, right? And do not replace it with cardio. That doesn't count, right? Like actually truly fully erase it. Have some mindful movement at home. Do some stretching, something that feels good and restorative. The second strategy is to stop stacking stress, because we have to understand that exercise is a stress to our body. Food restriction is also stress. Life is also stress. So for me, like when I was teaching 20 dance classes a week, that counted as stress, even if I loved it and even if it felt joyful. So a micro shift that you can make for yourself is go ahead, ask yourself, what stress am I ignoring because it doesn't look like a workout? It literally could be work stress. It could be that you are emotionally stressed. It could be that you are not eating enough. Like there's so many stressors to our body besides just movement. And I also don't share that to have you be fearful of stress, because honestly, some amount of stress is great, but there's a good amount of stress that is at a very helpful level, right? Like once we surpass that, that is when we get burnout. That is when our nervous system goes into threat mode. So this is not about like erasing stress completely from your life. That's literally impossible, right? Like you're probably listening to this and you're like, Gena, like I have a stressful life. Like I can't help it, right? But can we stop stacking it, right? Can we find small moments where we can actually reduce that stress for you? Now, the third strategy is to lift with intention, not punishment. Strength still matters. Progressive overload still matters. I preach those things to my clients. I still follow progressive overload, but grinding every single set, every single workout, every week, that is not strength, that is survival. So one way that you can kind of shift this within your own workouts and make it be less punishment is to leave about 1 to 2 reps in reserve on most sets. So still train hard, still get that sweat on, still follow that progressive overload, but don't be in this desperate place where like you literally have to max out and like hit a PR every single workout, every single exercise. Like that's just not possible, right? So we want to be more intentional about it. Now the fourth shift that we can make is make cardio regulating, not depleting. If you do cardio and it leaves you wired, exhausted, or ravenous, that is not helping your nervous system. But I do want to be clear that doesn't mean that you can never do cardio again. It just means that you have to change your approach to it, right? So the way we could shift this is to choose cardio that lets you breathe through your nose and finish feeling better than when you started. For me, in particular, I'm really going through a recovery stage where I'm actually pulling back in the gym. I still have had a running day. I still have had a cardio day, but I've done it with the intention of actually letting it be more of like a shakeout for my legs, more of a recovery run. I'm pulling back on the speed and I'm not letting my heart rate go over a certain amount, right? So that it is more easeful, that I am feeling actually more energized after doing it instead of just feeling like I literally sweat out every last calorie in my body and I'm, about to pass out, right? Now, the fifth shift that we can start to make is eat for recovery, not control. When I was eating about 1,200 calories, right, my body was not only underfueled, it was literally threatened, right? Like it was like freaking the heck out. And one thing that you could do for yourself if you're in this place, right, of like really trying to control food is I want you to add in one recovery supporting meal or snack instead of trying to earn it. That's a big thing too. We have to really disconnect the mindset of earning your food through exercise, because honestly, even being stuck in that mindset, even if you do start to pull back on workouts, even if you do start to eat a little bit more, but you're still fearful, that fear creates stress, therefore goes against us creating safety with your nervous system. So when I say one recovery supporting meal, like maybe that's on a rest day. You literally have something more indulgent. Like maybe you have a bigger dinner. I know that sounds really fucking scary, but that change and that approach is going to actually teach your body trust. And I promise you it will be so worth it in the long run, even if it causes momentary discomfort. Now, the sixth shift that we can make is predictability is what we need to look at, because that is going to create safety, right? So we really need to make this predictable place for your body. Your nervous system knows what's coming, right? You might be in this place where like you're doing the same movement pattern, same training days. And really what we need to do is train it and teach it that the predictability it's expecting is not to be fearful that you're going to overtrain it, not to be fearful that you're going to, cut calories again, but you want it to feel like it can predict that you're going to take care of your body, right? So go ahead when you're making these changes, like keep your program consistent for at least 4 to 6 weeks before you judge it or before you try to change it. Because when we continuously change things, whether it's even for the good, right? Pulling back, doing more rest days, like eating more. If we try to continuously like edit all of these variables, like every single day, every single week, like it can be hard for our body to figure out what does work, right? So I think like no matter what, when you are making these shifts, like sit in it for a while and see how you respond to that. Now, I want to go into why all of this is still going to build a strong, lean body, because I know right now the mindset that you're in is like, there's no way in heck when I'm doing so much, if I pull back, if I follow these strategies, that I'm going to actually still get the body that I'm looking for. And this is the part that people are afraid of, right? Like I know you're afraid of this listening to this. And, you might think like that nervous system safe fitness means giving up on your physique. But in my experience and my clients' experiences, it's often the opposite. I'm going to honestly say like it's always the opposite, basically, is what I would go ahead to honestly claim. And that's when your body feels safe, it's going to actually finally respond, right? So strength is going to come back, energy come back, consistency comes back. And those are the things that actually changes your body, right? Not like X amount of calories burned. So this approach of following a nervous system safe approach is for women who are disciplined, but they feel depleted, right? For maybe the woman who's done therapy, but still struggles with exercise. For the woman who wants to feel strong again without living in survival mode. And if you take nothing else from this episode, let it be this. Your body is not the enemy. You do not need to suffer to be strong, and you don't need to push harder to be worthy of results. Strength built from safety lasts, and you deserve that kind of strength. Thank you so much for listening to the Fit Without Obsession podcast. If this episode made you feel seen, supported, or a little less alone in your healing, hit follow so you never miss an episode. And if it spoke to your heart, share it on your stories and tag me at @thefitbean_ so we can spread this message to more women in the messy middle. If you're ready for deeper support, whether it's healing a relationship with food, rebuilding trust with your body, or getting stronger without slipping back into obsession, you'll find all the ways to work with me linked in the show notes. I'd love to walk alongside you in this journey. And remember, you are not too much, you're not too broken, and you're not behind. You can want freedom and strength. You can heal and build your dream body. I'm rooting for you always. Talk soon.